back to Deep South Cooking with Monty. Tonight we're going to be making another meal. It's going to be hamburger steak and gravy with onions. The menu that I got tonight is what I went into my pantry and I just decided just to pluck and pick at what I have. So first I've got really 4 pounds of hamburger meat, some mushroom gravy we're going to be using along with some noodles, some elbow noodles. Lipton onion soup, I'm going to be putting it in the hamburger, along with a little bit of breadcrumbs, some eggs. I'm going to saute the onions to put on top. And from there, we're going to go ahead and start preparing everything, and I'll show you how it's done. First thing we're going to do is get the onion cut. Get that side cut off. Now I'm going to make it pretty thin because I'm sauteing these, and this is what is going to go on top of the hamburger steak. Now I don't need a whole bunch of them, but I'm making 8 hamburger steaks all together. So there we go. Now, right now I'm just going to lay all these down right here on the plate. Short, sweet, and simple. I'm going to toss that to the side. Okay. I'm going to put some eggs into it. There we go. Use my hand down a little whisk. There we go. All right. I'm gonna get my little half a cup of breadcrumbs. There we go. And we are done with the base ingredients. And we'll be back in just a couple minutes and I'll show you how to put the meat together. Got everything ready. Got the meat, the lipton onion, the egg, and the breadcrumbs. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in the pan. Voila, there goes the first one. Now, I'll break it apart a little bit. It's a lot of meat. 4 pounds of meat all together. But I put it into I put the seasonings into it section by section. So let me get a knife, cut this open. Up, let it fry. There we go. Put the seasoning right on top. So that's the first batch. I'm going to use about half of the breadcrumbs and about half of the eggs. So that's just 1 egg basically. So now on to the second part. And I'm going to break this one up right on top. And I'm going to use the other packet, putting it on top. There we are. Folks, if you've never tried this one before, this is one of the simplest hamburger steak meals you'll ever make. It's really, really simple because you can see you don't have to have all these separate ingredients like onion powder, garlic powder, separate onions on the inside. Because guess what? The Lipton onion soup has all that you need, and it makes a delicious patty. Now, you're gonna get your hands dirty on this one though, unfortunately. But if you don't like that, put you some gloves on. There we are. Mix it well, folks. Don't go too bad off on it. Don't go too mushy on it. But I'm gonna show you an easy way to spread it out, kind of get an idea of how much weight you have. Okay, now folks, you're very rarely ever gonna see me use the stove. I love my Blackstone, and I've been on it for a month and a half now, and that's like the only tool that I ever love. But right now it's raining outside, and I'm gonna make the gravy on the inside. So I want 3 cups of water. I'll put that in first. Turn the fire on, and I've got 3 packets of my mushroom gravy. Now, it's easy to put this in. Dump the first bag. Stir it in with your wire whisk. Folks, this is so simple. You can buy gravy already made also. You don't have to worry about making it like this if you don't want to. But the recipe calls for some mushroom gravy on top of that hamburger steak. So here we are. Now, I'm not going to force you to sit here and watch me make gravy for 15-20 minutes, but that's about how long it takes. You just stir it up, let it come to a boil, and it's done after that. So let's move on to the next thing. I've got the meat, all 4 pounds of hamburger meat in here to make 8 steak patties. 2 different ways to do this. I'm going to show you both. Very, very simple. You want 8 evenly divided out pieces of meat. So first thing I'm going to do is, wow, look, easy. Then cut it right down the middle, cut it again, cut it again. So there's your even meat. Now, for those of you that want to be a little bit more in depth on it, you can use a scale. I got it up to 0 right now. And you can do ounces and pounds, however many that you want. You just got to figure out how heavy that you want your patties. So that's about where I'm at. I'm about almost 10 ounces of meat per patty that I'm going to be cooking. So now, shape of the meat, it's not a hamburger, it's a steak. You want it kind of lengthwise. So I'm going to make it kind of like a mini little meatloaf. So simple, there's your first one. And it's almost the same way as it's cut. Now this one here is 106, 10. There you go, perfect setting. So I want to show you how to do 2 of these. Like I said, make it shaped kind of like a mini meatball, a mini meatloaf. Very, very simple. Now, I'll show you when all these are done and we'll go outside and get them cooking. We're going to start sliding these beautiful things onto the black stone griddle. Now I like the temperature at 350 because what I don't want to do is give a big sear right off the bat. We want these things to cook all the way through. Now what I'm looking for is an internal temp of about 160 degrees when I get done. So we're going to let them brown all the way on this side for a few minutes. And it always helps to have a meat thermometer, folks. I choose. This one right here is a little digital one. You just poke it in the meat, it tells you where you're at. They're not that expensive. They're about 20 bucks. So believe me, it's worth doing. While we're letting those cook, the sauteed onions are next. Now, remember there are these slices? Just break them apart before you toss them on the griddle. Don't take but a second to pop them all out of their little circles. Okay. Put the fish to the side. We're going to let it cook. I'll put a little extra oil on top of the onions. Okay. Folks, we're going to let that cook down for a few minutes and we'll be back. Well, folks, looks like it's been cooking for about 3 to 4 minutes. It's time to give them a flip and see what they're looking like. Yes. We don't want to oversear them because I got to turn them back over again. These are going to be turned over a few times. I got to get that internal temp. Now you can see on that one where it kind of broke apart a little bit. That internal temp's got to be at 160 degrees. Now, if you want yours medium rare, bring it up to about 145. But I'm not a rare type person in that aspect. I like my food cooked. Look at that. Those are actually very good looking. Now let's give these a flip, see how they're looking. Ah, yes! I ain't been fooling with them because I want them to get that caramelization on them. Look at that. So from here forward, we're going to start flipping them a little bit more often to even them out. But you can start seeing where they're turning brown. That's exactly what we want. We want them to get soft, translucent. So we're going to let them sit here, cook a little bit longer. And we'll be back in about 3 or 4 more minutes. Let's get these onions flipped over again. They're almost to the point where I'm about to pull them off. I guess the first thing I need to do is turn that temp off on that side. We'll just shove them to the side a little bit. Keep it nice and warm. The meat I just checked a moment ago, we were at 140 average. I believe this one is going to finish it off, this flip. That's a good sear. That's the money maker. Look at that. I don't see any blood coming out no more, folks, so I know it's ready. We're at that medium rare point, though. I'm gonna let them ride on the griddle. Now, let's take a quick temp again. Now that I've flipped them, let's see where it's at. I'll show you, folks. Right here, when I put it in, it's bouncing around a little bit. It's still not quite where we need to have it, but they're getting close. 145, about 145 to 150. You can see what I'm talking about. It's getting close, but we are about another 10 to 15 degrees off from where we want to be. So we're just gonna keep on cooking. Probably done. Now, I'm gonna stick this in here. Look at that, 170, 160, 155. Folks, these are done and ready to come on off. Well, so are these onions. So we're gonna lay those on here first. Yeah, those are gonna be good. Good. Time to get the meat off the grill. They are coming out just like I thought they would. Nice and crisp crust on the outside. The juice is on the inside. Wow. I can't wait to pour my gravy on top, put my onions on top, and have my sides of whatever else, the noodles, vegetables. It's time for me to turn off this griddle and go inside. Okay, we're inside. I've got all of my stuff laid out. I'm gonna show you how to put it together, and we will be eating from there. Now, first thing, the star is the hamburger steak. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of these noodles. Give me a big old batch of them. I want to top those off with a little bit of gravy. Side of my sweet peas. Folks, this is stuff I pulled out of my pantry that I just threw together. There's so many easy meals that can be done on instead of having to go eat fast food. You saw how fast I made this meal. Look at that. Cover those with onions. Come back with another layer of gravy on top. Drizzle. Yeah, I love my gravy, so I want seconds. Look at that. Okay. Now, if you don't like that, I can't imagine what you're going to like, because that's going to be delicious. Thank you for tuning in today to another episode of Deep South Cooking. If you liked it, I appreciate you if you like my video and subscribe to my page. Thank you for watching.